Hello everybody, Dan here. Welcome back to Daily Soap Dish. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button down below because we cover a ton of 90 Day Fiancé right here on the channel. All right, so let's get into it. Today, we're going to be talking about the Danielle Gates and Yohan Geronimo drama and fallout after 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way, Part 3 of the tell-all. And this drama has been building up even before the tell-all. The last couple of episodes on the show were basically about Danielle finding out information or getting information in her inbox that Yohan had been unfaithful to her. And at first we found out information from one lady who said, allegedly, that she had been with Yohan and basically had sex with him since 1 month before Yohan and Danielle got married. But as the episodes progressed, we learned that it wasn't one, it was allegedly 5 or 6, and then that number kept rising until we got to 50 or 60 different women that Yohan allegedly cheated on Danielle with. Now, that number seems a little high, and what I found interesting during the tell-all was that Danielle didn't bring that lady that supposedly has been cheating and having sex with Yohan since before they got married, but brought a lady on that supposedly messaged Yohan, I believe she said, back in June. So I'll get to why that is important in a second. So let's just maybe take a look at exactly what happened on part 3, and then we'll discuss. Now, I went back and forth on these allegations of cheating. At first, I was a little more inclined to be Team Danielle, but as she keeps opening her mouth, I'm not exactly so sure anymore. I really thought that there was a couple of things that were pretty telling on part 3 of the tell-all. And one of those things was when Danielle exited, I believe, the tell-all, she said, I am so relieved and so happy that they believe me, that they believe that he cheated on me. And I thought it was interesting because it didn't really look as if she really cared whether or if she was all that traumatized by Yohan cheating, but really what she wanted was the cast to believe her, was for people to believe her. And the reason for that is because she's been getting a rough go on the internet and people don't really believe her claims. And that was the most important thing for her. Now, that could play into a bit of a part of narcissism, but we'll get back to that in a second because I did find that part interesting, but there's lots of other parts that we're going to get to. So we're going to go through this piece here and then we're going to get to some reactions and I'll tell you guys my opinion on this whole thing because it's been a mess and it's really unclear what to believe. Danielle's claims are not hardcore, like concrete evidence that she promised. That wasn't it, in my opinion. If you guys thought that was it, let me know in the comment section down below. But in my opinion, that wasn't it. That was more like some soft proof, but a lot of it was circumstantial, nothing super concrete to tie him to any kind of cheating activity, in my opinion. So, 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way star Danielle Gates claimed she was going to divorce Yohan during the tell-all, but it appears that she may have changed her mind. Now, this article is from Screen Rant. Danielle from New York met Yohan in the Dominican Republic, where she was on vacation with her family. Now, despite Danielle and Yohan's 10-year age difference, they got engaged and married 5 months later in 90 Day Fiancé Love in Paradise Season 2. Now, Danielle had told Yohan that he would be coming to the USA with her. However, she changed her mind and decided that she could move to the DR instead. Now, what's interesting about that is I've read this online. I've never really thought that much about it before. But some people are saying that Danielle actually did the reverse green card scam. So instead of scamming an American and coming to the U.S. like we've seen some people do, in my opinion, Miona Bell did that. We've seen other people do that, Mohammed with Eve and some others, scamming the American person to come to the U.S., get the green card, and then dump them and just be on your own. Instead, some people are saying that perhaps Danielle did the reverse green card scam. And when you think about it, she had bankruptcies, she had unpaid tickets, she couldn't afford her life in the USA. She had so much to run away from and want to live, in a tropical paradise like the Dominican Republic where the cost of living is so much lower. You have to wonder if there is some truth behind that. You guys will let me know what you think about that. But this is what some people are now claiming online, that perhaps doing the reverse green card scam was a reason why she married Yohan, because you guys will remember she kind of misled him into getting married to her. She promised him a whole bunch of things that she never delivered upon, and he got married to her believing those things, and then she switched the tables on him and basically didn't provide anything of what she promised. So usually that's kind of how it works when the people that come to the U.S. are scamming the Americans, right? So something to think about right there. Now, Danielle told Yohan he'd be coming to the USA. However, she changed her mind and decided to live happily ever after in the DR, at least for a couple of years. Yohan gained sympathy from fans because his wife had made a fool out of him by crushing his American dream. However, as Danielle and Yohan's stories unfolded on 90 Day Fiancé the other way, it became clear that Yohan had been using Danielle for money and married her because she was American. Yohan called his life a horror story because Danielle wasn't behaving the way he wanted her to. Now, I'll just let you guys know, a lot of this here is opinion. This is not fact. This is the opinion of the writer. So, we'll get to that in a second as well. What Yohan had to mention was that he was in multiple relationships at the same time, so he could trick women across the world into giving him money. Danielle said she had put up with how Yohan was behaving towards her because their day-to-day life in the DR was positive as long as he had money. Yohan thought he had found a cash cow, but Danielle was trying to tell him they needed to do things together. Danielle first spoke about Yohan's mistresses during the finale. It had been a month since Yohan left the house when a woman DM'd Danielle and told her that she had been in a relationship with Yohan for 2 years, months before he married Danielle. The woman had met Yohan's father and nephew and even visited his apartment. The woman sent Danielle pictures Yohan had sent her, including nudes. Danielle went through Yohan's computer to discover at least 6 other women had been in an inappropriate relationship with her husband. These were the women that Yohan had either reached out to ask for money and had video conversations with, or women he was planning to meet up with. Yohan wanted cash from Danielle and single women he had reached out to because he was collecting money. Danielle didn't know where the money was now, but said there was woman after woman after woman. Sean Robinson asked Danielle if she knew how many women Yohan had hooked up with since he got together with Danielle. She didn't keep count, but Danielle had several screenshots, and that led her to believe the number was probably close to 50 or 60. A woman named Memory was invited to the reunion to dish out more dirt on Yohan. The woman said Yohan had approached her by sliding into her Facebook messages to say hello. He started asking her if she was married and had kids, but eventually told her to visit the DR so he could give her a tour. You can just come here and see me, Memory recalled Yohan saying. And by the way, before we go further, you guys let me know what you thought about Memory. Look, I'm looking for you guys' opinion because to me, and like I said, this is my opinion. And by the way, before anybody gets this video confused, this is not a defend Yohan video. This is not that at all. I'm not a supporter of Yohan. I don't care for Yohan. That's not what this video is. My opinion on these two is that these two are some pretty trash individuals in their both respective ways. These are users in their both respective ways, and they got out of their relationship exactly what they should have thought that they were going to get, which is basically a lot of toxicity and a lot of aggravation and unhappiness in the end, because they both wanted to use each other. That's my opinion now. And so I'm not really on anybody's side because I see holes to both of their games, to both of their stories. I do think Yohan was trying to use Danielle for money and to come to the US. However, he was upfront about it. He told her exactly what he wanted, and at first she said yes until she changed her mind. And so, can you blame Yohan if he's really upfront about what he wants? Yes, he's still a scumbag. I'm not saying he's not. He is. But he told her what he wanted, and she said she was going to provide for him and use that as a way to basically further the relationship and get married to him. Now, the issue that I have, though, is you don't see Yohan at the tell-all playing the victim card. You don't see him looking for sympathy. You don't see him looking for validation from the other cast members or the fans about his intentions or what he wanted to get out of the relationship. On the other hand, basically the tell-all was Danielle's PR tour to rehabilitate her image because people just don't really like her online. She gets a lot of negative press, and some people think that she's trying to grow her business, and so she needs the PR in order to get to that next step in terms of she's trying to do a podcast and she's trying to pawn off some products on people. And with all the negative PR around her, it's just bad news for her, and she can't really do that. So the whole tell-all, and I kind of felt this, was basically set up by her as a way to rehabilitate her image from a PR perspective. I'm not sure that I ever thought during that tell-all that she was really all that devastated by Yohan's cheating, or that she was really, blindsided from left field, that she didn't see any of it coming. I never really got those emotions, but like I said, that's just me. You guys let me know what you think. Like I said, I don't want anybody to think that this is a defend Yohan video. It's not. I think both of them are trash, and I think both of them got exactly what they deserve out of this relationship. Okay, let's go on here. So Sean asked Robinson if she knew. So yeah, 50 or 60. And okay, so we kind of went over that. So that was Memory right there. And by the way, you guys let me know what you think of Memory as well. According to Memory, Yohan had told her that he was single and going through a divorce. She remembered Yohan telling her Danielle was going to take everything from him. When Sean turned to Yohan to ask him if he knew Memory, he said no and asked Memory to show proof of their conversation. Memory fished out her phone to show the messages Yohan had sent her and even read some of them out loud. Yohan was also asking Memory to send him her picture and asking her where she lived. I don't remember the conversation, Yohan claimed. Yohan allegedly messaged Memory hello in June of 2023. So, this is important. So, as I told you guys in the beginning of this video, those few episodes before the tell-all aired, where Danielle basically was with, Santa Claus Yohan, going around giving gifts out and whatnot, and where they broke up, basically, and then that was episode 20. Episode 21 was when Danielle was in her apartment in the DR packing her stuff up, and she said something like, oh, if I knew everything I know about Yohan now, I would have never been petty, because she was petty about his clothes because she bought his clothes. And she told him, no, you can't take your clothes because I bought them for you. Just take the stuff that he had before. She was kind of being extremely petty there in that moment. So then she was kind of going back on that and saying, well, I got messaged by this girl. Now, that was supposedly cheating with Yohan for over 2 years. Now, that was 1 month after the previous episode, which was, I believe, around Christmas time of last year. So this was January of 2023, January of this year. Now, if you remember, during that episode, Danielle said she never wanted to do anything with Yohan. Basically, she was done with the relationship. It was over. She had all of this information that, was overwhelming her, and she was done. Basically, they were broken up at that point because Yohan basically dumped her before. So the relationship was completely done. Memory's messages are from June and 2023, guys. This is 6 months later. 6 months later. This couple was not together for 6 months, and Danielle is trying to say that Yohan was cheating with Memory 6 months later. Now, I don't even know if Memory is true. I don't know if this is legit. For all we know, Danielle, I don't know about you guys, but, I wouldn't put it past her to write a message just so that she could have some proof at the tell-all, write a message herself, because she had access to Yohan's accounts. She had access to his social media. She created it, supposedly. So who knows? I don't know. I'm not saying that's what happened, but is it possible, considering that she had access to his social media accounts? Yes. And to try to make him look bad? Yes, it's possible. But even then, it doesn't make any sense that she's using this as a way to pin all this this hardcore concrete proof of cheating on Yohan. And this is the best that she can get, is a girl that has messages allegedly from Yohan from June, when the relationship was completely donezo 6 months before. That makes no sense, guys. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you guys think about that, but that makes no sense to me. And I think that Danielle, this is why I'm thinking that she's trying to manipulate certain things to make herself look better, because she promised, she made all these, big promises of this proof, this hardcore concrete proof. And where is it? This is the best you got? A lady that came on and has these messages 6 months after you supposedly broken up and you're completely done and he dumped you and everything? that doesn't really pass the test to me. And also what's interesting is that no one really called her out on this during the tell-all. So I was really quite disappointed that people didn't push harder against this so-called proof of Danielle's. Okay, let's read over this, and then I'll have more things that we can talk about in just a second. So the cast agreed that Yohan didn't remember memory because he had so many women that he was talking to. Meanwhile, Danielle also said one of her clients at her retreat was involved with Yohan, where he used his position in his business for his own sexual benefit. Danielle claimed Yohan had picked up a woman using their retreat van, and the second time he engaged in a relationship with one of the women there. Danielle had proof because she had found a picture on Yohan's computer of a conversation Yohan had with the woman. So this is what I don't really understand here. First of all, why would Yohan keep this information? Why would he have a conversation of the text on his computer? Like, if he was looking to cheat, I'm not even sure that makes any sense. But don't forget, Yohan is supposedly so stupid and so not tech savvy whatsoever that he needed Danielle to create his social media accounts for him when he planned to use those same accounts to go on a massive cheating rampage against Danielle, and she would have access to all of that information. Yet this is the guy that is having all this information on his computer about his cheating exploits. I'm not sure if that makes a lot of sense to me. I'm sure it's possible. It's just, I don't know if this is the best proof ever that Danielle claimed it was. You guys let me know if I'm off on this. Let me know what you think about that in the comment section down below. So, so basically Danielle reached out to her and later received an email. The woman apologized to Danielle and claimed it was Yohan who messaged her first and not the other way around. Danielle was certain Yohan had a physical relationship with the woman. Yohan told Danielle he was never unfaithful but wished he had been because that would have made him feel better. He kept insisting he never cheated. He said there was no video proof of him cheating, so the allegations can be true. Danielle lies a lot, he insisted. Eventually, Danielle said that she was absolutely going to file for divorce. Now, this is another thing. We'll get to that. Danielle said she was separated from Yohan at the start of the tell-all in part 1. Later, Yohan revealed they met up just 2 weeks before filming for the reunion. Danielle said she had dinner with Yohan's family, some 90 Day Fiancé alums on stage, including Tanya, reminded Danielle that Yohan had lied and cheated on her, so he didn't deserve her friendship. However, Danielle said she valued his mothers and sisters, who were good people despite her relationship with Yohan. She admitted that his family was important to her. According to Yohan, he and Danielle had agreed that they didn't have to be enemies even after splitting up, so it was easy for them to reunite for dinner. Moreover, Danielle confessed she had a habit of maintaining positive relationships with her exes and was trying to keep the habit going. During part 3, Kalani asked Danielle to please not be friends with Yohan after what happened during the tell-all. Holly Weeks also told Danielle she was much better than that. When the tell-all came to an end, she said it's all over. Danielle said she was done and ready to move on with her life. So that tell-all was filmed in September of 2023. And in December of 2023, when a fan on Instagram asked Danielle if she was still married to Yohan, Danielle replied, yes, last week was our 2-year anniversary. She confirmed that she hasn't divorced Yohan. She also doesn't plan on removing the large Yohan name tattoo she has on her arm. Oh my God, guys, what is it that with Danielle that just doesn't make any sense? This doesn't make any sense to me. All right, so there's a lot to unpack here. Now, if we can perhaps look at what's going on. Okay, so let's take a look at Reddit here, because there's just so much to unpack with Danielle, and it frustrates me. This lady frustrates me. She aggravates me beyond belief simply because she doesn't make any sense. So these were her receipts. Now, who the hell takes out this pamphlet of documents printed on some like 90s printer and brings it to the tell-all? Don't you just have this information on your phone? Like, who prints this as if it was some kind of notarized legal documents? I mean, once again, this is her proof, her irrefutable proof against Yohan that he cheated. Yet, for all we know, she could have printed this herself very easily. Like I said, this is not a pro-Yohan video. I'm just not really seeing the irrefutable proof that Danielle promised, and I just have a hard time with these documents, this pile of documents in her hand. It just, something feels off to me. You guys will let me know if, if you agree or not, but something just feels off to me about that. This person here says that Yohan looks like a comic relief character in the TV intro of an 80s sitcom. And Danielle also now is taking apps, and this is what she posted recently. Guess what? Applications are now being accepted for the role of life partner in the Livey Insa collective. Multiple positions available. So we seek individual embodying commitment, compassion, and this just giving me a headache, guys. I'm not going to go through all of this, but this is just so silly. So Yohan also had the shaggy defense that he didn't do it. People are having fun with this on Reddit. It wasn't me, like with all of the allegations against him. But this was really what made me question. And this is why, if you guys think that I have a bit of a critical tone in this video as to Danielle's, receipts and her accusations, this is why right here. And this doesn't make any sense whatsoever to me. And this is what this person says. After all we've heard from Danielle was 2 weeks ago in the DR having dinner with Yohan and his family. I mean, what? After all we've heard, she was having dinner with him and his family. Why? Because she wants to preserve respect? What? What? WTF? How can we even be talking about respect after everything we've heard and after she accused him of being a sanky-panky publicly anyway? She's playing the victim on here, and I can understand her hurt to a point, but she seems to be enjoying the recognition of him being the bad guy and her the good, tortured girl. I mean, how will you be contacting every single woman for help? How will revealing all of this revenge help? Evidence, disproof, this, yawn. She should have just ended this and leave him. No DR, no dinners, no family, no nothing included, no respect because there is none. I can't have sympathy for her because she should have known better. P.S. Yohan has an IQ of like 10, just saying. So this person says here. So, a lot of people are saying there's something off about Danielle's accusations and stories of cheating. I think the truth is in the middle. He's a cheater, but she's also a manipulator, liar. I think he cheated at the tail end of their relationship, but not to the degree that she's making out to be. At the end of the tell-all, she said to the camera how good it felt that the room of people believe and support her. And that's what I noticed as well. That she was really relishing that people believed her and for once took her side. I didn't get the feeling that she felt devastated or, like heartbroken or anything about the actual cheating. It was more about people believing her or not. And I think that's a bit of a trait of narcissism. You guys will correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like Danielle is just trying to get some kind of power from people believing her, taking her side over somebody else's. And so that's kind of the video, guys. I mean, she didn't divorce him. She went to the DR 2 weeks before, and she also said that she's there to support him. Let's be honest, they probably had sex. And also, let's be honest, she was she had a threesome with Yohan at some point, and when the tell-all started, she was all giddy about it, super happy, like we had like so much fun. And people are accusing Danielle of being a sex tourist, and I can kind of see it. She's kind of behaving like one. She's going there, meeting with this guy. She's collecting all this evidence behind his back, but she's having threesomes with him. I don't know exactly what kind of message that sends in terms of your relationship and whether it's an open relationship or not, or what are the boundaries. I don't know, because to me, it's a little messed up, but I feel like once you're kind of behaving that way, you're having threesomes and whatnot, I'm not exactly sure that these accusations hit the same way. I don't know. To me, it's a little bizarre. So the fact that she went there 2 weeks ago, and like I said, she probably had sex with him. She seems to be obsessed with this man because she keeps going back to him, going back. I mean, he dumped her cold last time they were on because, she was hanging around with her old boyfriend, with her ex, but he dumped her cold, but they got back together. My theory has always been that it's because of TLC money that they're doing this and for nothing else. But look, it's a long video, so I'm going to end it right here. You guys let me know what you think, guys. I mean, I kind of get a headache of thinking about, Danielle's claims, because on one hand, I want it to make sense. I wanted to believe her because, the claims that she's making are pretty bad. But on the other hand, I just don't really find the evidence convincing enough. And she's talked a big game, but when it came time to put up or shut up, the evidence kind of was underwhelming. So in my opinion, you guys will let me know what you think. I had other things I wanted to say. We'll keep those for another video because this one's already long enough. So we'll do more stuff on them at some point in the future, and then I'll bring you the other points about these two. And so this is going to do it for today. The next video will probably be about Shekinah, and that was one part where I actually was on Danielle's side when she roasted Shekinah, because she was one of the few people that was actually, really standing up to Shekinah during the tell-all. And so I was totally Team Danielle at that moment in time. I just have a hard time believing her claims that she was a victim, that she never saw this coming, and that, he was this mean guy, this bad guy, this cheater all the way through, and she was just this innocent victim. No, I think she went along with it. If he did cheat, she went along with it. But honestly, I'm not even sure if she could have made some of this up. I'm not even sure. You guys let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a big thumbs up if you did. Hit that subscribe button down below for more content right here on the channel. And I'll see you guys very soon. Take care.